Hello, everyone. Rail Fanning Meteorologist Productions here. So I've been doing these tributes to my favorite celebrities. Most of them have been singers. Actually, I don't think I've done a single actor yet. Uh, might have to look into doing that. But I came across a song the other day by a girl that got famous last year when she was on American Idol, and I think she won second place. She almost won the show. And that's Hunter Girl. And another girl I like from last year is Leah Marlene. I haven't done a tribute for her yet, but there's probably one in the future. Um, Before I get into the song from Hunter Girl that I heard that really resonated with me, of course, I have to start off with a tribute poem because that's how it works. Then I'm going to play the song, and then I'm going to read the poem that was inspired by that song. It's not going to be what you expect. So let's get into it. So this is a very relatively short poem compared to what I usually write. I don't know Hunter Girl that well. I just know her through her music. So that's what this is based on. And sorry for any background noise. So it goes like this. It's called Hunter Girl. Hunter Girl is a truly unique singer and songwriter. By the sound of it, she's definitely a fighter, especially in terms of turmoil. She can put pen to paper and somehow mix water and oil. She writes her songs and wraps them up in emotional tinfoil. I've never heard a voice like hers. It's so breathtaking to hear her sing. Let her musical vibrato uh, throughout the valleys and mountains ring. She literally wrote a song comparing an ex to Houdini, because apparently his unpredictability involved a lot of trickery. She also wrote that she's not going to let her heart break down. In other words, she's not going to let herself drown. She even wrote a song about growing old with a mate, and she's only in her 20s. How could she possibly relate? Yet it's done so perfectly. She is truly an amazing singer and wonderful being. Hunter Girl, just simply keep on writing and singing, and a ton of good fortune you will most definitely be seeing. And I really like Hunter Girl. I do think she has an absolutely beautiful voice. I believe she's a country singer. That's what it sounds like to me. But I don't know. I've just never heard songs like hers, like the lyrics that are in the songs. To me, they just seem so unique. I mean, you listen to a lot of love songs, even by different singers and bands. A lot of them start to sound the same after a while, but hers don't. They just seem relatively different, incredibly different from the mainstream love songs and ballads that we typically hear. Um, just listen to Heartbreak Down, uh, Better Than Mine, Houdini, and One Day. Listen to those songs, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, the song that I'm interested in, I just came across last night, the night before that maybe. It's called Lonely Outta You. And so you would think this is a song that has to do with comforting someone who's feeling lonely. She's going to love the lonely out of this person by being there for them. Now, you would think that would make me feel more comfortable and less lonely, but that's not how my mind works, okay? So I hear a song like this. I love the song, but that doesn't matter. This song actually makes me feel more lonely, and again, it's not on purpose. So don't, Undergirl, if you see this, don't blame yourself. But songs like this actually make me feel more lonely because I'm reminded of my loneliness and the fact that I don't have a girlfriend. I'm in my own apartment now for the first time, and so I'm not 24/7 surrounded by people, and I don't have a girlfriend. And I very much do not like being single. I want to be in a romantic relationship, and I don't have that. I've never experienced that actually because of all my mental health problems. So, so in the poem after this, you'll see that. for 99% of people, this is comforting. For me, it's still comforting in a way, but it reminds me that I'm actually lonely, and I have nobody to love the lonely out of me. So anyway, I want to play the song first. Here we go. You don't talk about your feelings. That don't mean they don't hold no weight. Tell me who got you believing that loving somebody ain't safe. I don't think that you need fixing. I just know we could be different. Looking in your eyes, if you let me hide. I'm lonely out you. Do whatever whoever didn't do. Pick up the pieces that they broke. Hold you like I won't let go if you want me to. Oh, I wanna love the lonely out of you. Has anybody ever told you that it doesn't have to be this way? Does anybody get to know you, or do you push them all away? 'Cause it's easier than risking one more door slammed in the rain on a Friday night. But if you let me out, I wanna love lonely out you. Do whatever whoever didn't do. Pick up the pieces that they broke. Hold you like I won't let go if you want me to. Oh, I wanna love lonely out Lonely ain't the only way to be. Why don't you come and give your heart to me, baby? I wanna love the lonely out of you. Do whatever whoever didn't do. Pick up the pieces that they broke. Hold you like I won't let go if you want me to. Oh, I wanna love the lonely out of you. I wanna love the lonely out of you. So just disclaimer, I do not own this song. So it is not copyrighted by me in any way, shape, or form. Um, I did want to play it for you though, so that you have the lyrics. And I guess, the main thing I get, see, this is why the song makes me more lonely, because it reminds me that who's there to love the lonely out of me? And family is great, right? They're there for you. They can fill the void a little bit, but I really need friends. I don't have a lot of friends, and I need a mate. I need a partner in crime. And until I have those things, I'm going to be pretty lonely. So this song kind of reminds me that I don't have those things. And again, that's not Hunter Girl's fault. She's actually writing this song to comfort those who are lonely. And I get that. It's just, unfortunately for me, and it's not just with this song, it's with any song that talks about loneliness. So keep that in mind as I bring us to our main attraction here. And I hit you with the title of a poem called Broken Soul Syndrome. I came up with that name, and let's just get into it. So I use that phrase, "Who's gonna love all the lonely out of me," um, directly from the song, and I repeat it because I like repetition. So here we go. Who's gonna love all the lonely out of me? I feel like I've been stuck in this blank space for all eternity. Nobody around, no people, not even a sound. Even though my loneliness is growing, I'm physically losing weight, yet I feel like I'm carrying heavy freight. Who's gonna love all the lonely out of me? My mind is crying out. It's wishing to share its musings and ideas, the good and the bad, the ones that will make you happy and the ones that will make you mad. It wants to share its take on the meaning of life, though at this point it's starting to see no meaning at all, going through this misery and strife. Who's gonna love all the lonely out of me? My heart is crying out, so broken and shattered to pieces, yet still full of potent emotions and desire. If the right circumstances are there, my heart's longing could light a fire. It wants to experience and share true romantic love. It wants to meet its angel from up above. It wants to share companionship and friendship. These are all the things that make my heart feel whole, and the loneliness a little less full. Who's gonna love all the lonely out of me? My soul is crying out. It's shrieking because it's in terrible pain, physical pain. Loneliness traverses its very being like an infectious disease. I can even feel it physically, and the discomfort brings me to my knees. Without others to share life with, my soul is lost. It may be full of loneliness, but it's also full of emptiness. And that's the key, okay? You'll see what I mean. So this is the last paragraph. When no one is around, you get what's called broken soul syndrome. First, you go into loneliness. This is stage one, where you can still make it go away. In stage two, the loneliness has been around for some time now. It starts to morph into emptiness. Emptiness is a much stronger form of loneliness. It grows when regular loneliness has been around for a while. Emptiness is near impossible to go away, not even after sprinting a mile. Then you go into the last stage, stage three. That's when traditional loneliness is gone and your mind, heart, body, and soul are 100% empty. Once you're here, the prognosis is quite dismal. The syndrome becomes terminal, but it's not a quick, easy death. It feeds on your mind, heart, body, and soul for years and years. Trust me, there are plenty of tears. You may turn to alcohol or drugs. You may start harming yourself or contemplating suicide, all because you didn't get enough hugs. Or you may be placed in a blank space just like me. I hope you brought some books to read, even though there's so much more you really need. So, I've never written a poem quite like this before. Not really because of the first three or four verses. I've definitely written poems that are similar to those, but this thing that I call broken soul syndrome, I've never really expressed a relationship between loneliness and emptiness. This just kind of popped into my head last night as I was writing this, how I could relate the two. I've never been able to conceptualize what emptiness is, and this is what it is for me. When I feel empty on the inside, it's because I'm very lonely. And so for me, this broken soul syndrome is kind of what I'm experiencing. First, let's say I have a lot of friends and I'm in a romantic relationship, and let's say that romantic relationship ends. So first I may feel a little lonely, right? Now, in the beginning, there's a good chance that may go away if I meet someone else, if I get more friends or interact with the ones I currently have, if I surround myself with family, there's a good chance that the regular loneliness will go away. But then more time goes by, and let's say I socially distance myself for whatever reason, let's say I go in the opposite direction, then the loneliness grows in size, and its time spent is longer. So then it becomes a more potent form of loneliness, and this is what I call emptiness. And that's what starts stage 2, is when the loneliness is now turning into emptiness. And now there's less of a chance that you're going to get cured of the broken soul syndrome. Then there's stage 3, which is, after time, different for everybody, but I would say a decent amount of time. And you've been lonely and empty for so long, they've been coexisting for so long that regular loneliness, sorry, there's a train coming. Regular loneliness is no longer there. It's all emptiness. It's all this more potent, powerful form of loneliness that's literally like a physical cancer throughout your mind, body, and soul and heart. It's literally like an infectious disease that it's like there's the disease that killed my mother, necrotizing fasciitis, which is a flesh-eating bacteria. Once you get to stage 3 of broken soul syndrome, that is what this emptiness is like. It doesn't spread as rapidly. It's a slow, painful death. Not that my mother's death wasn't slow and painful. It actually was. It took about 8 months for the disease to kill her. But this could take years, and you're still going about your life, but the disease may prompt you to drink alcohol or hurt yourself or whatever, to do whatever. But it really is like a disease, this emptiness, and that's how I feel a lot of the time. I feel like it's a disease that I just can't make go away, and there is no real medication for this feeling. It's different than regular depression because depression is chemical, and well, it's mainly chemical in most situations. Um, Emptiness is not really a chemical imbalance, so you can take antidepressants to treat the any major depressive disorder symptoms that are there, but it's so you may feel a little less depressed, but it's not going to make the emptiness go away. And in my experience, I've also noticed that there's not a lot of therapy that can help emptiness either. I have borderline personality disorder, and so DBT is usually the therapy that we use. And DBT doesn't really do a good job of dealing with emptiness and depression, in my experience. It deals more with emotion regulation and crisis survival, and I love all that stuff, but it doesn't really deal with this loneliness, emptiness, what I call broken soul syndrome. So anyway, that's what this poem means to me. I think this is one of my favorite poems that I've ever written, just because I thought the concept of a broken soul syndrome and this idea of relating loneliness to emptiness I've never done before. Okay, well, that took a really sad turn. So thank you, Hunter Girl, though, for the song, because it did produce this poem. And yes, these poems are quite dark, but you know what? I love them. They are therapeutic for me, these poems. So I appreciate it whenever somebody writes a song that inspires a poem. And Hunter Girl, you're amazing. I wish I could meet you. That would fill the void a little bit. But we both know that's never going to happen. So if you see this, by any chance, maybe you could leave a comment on my video. That would probably help a lot. And to those of you who are subscribed to me for the rail fanning, I will be posting stack 2 of the rail fanning. I'm probably getting my last 2 trains, one tonight, one tomorrow morning. So, and there's going to be 15 trains in this stack. So that'll be posted probably tomorrow or Tuesday. And then in terms of snowstorms, there's nothing right now. At this time of the season, the low pressure systems all tend to go to the north of southern New England, and the Mid Atlantic, they all tend to go upstate New York towards the Great Lakes and northern New England. It's not really until mid to late January and early February that you start to get snowstorms in southern New England and Mid Atlantic. But there are occasions where it does happen. But for now, I don't see anything in the near future. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.